Hey y'all, what's up? It's Claudia. I am back here with something a little bit different. This is going to be a book review of Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me, which is a graphic novel by Mariko Tamaki. It is a queer graphic novel. As I am trying to read quite a few queer books for Pride, I am also going to try to read them throughout the year, but specifically for Pride. Slash, it also came off of hold at the library. But yeah, it was a graphic novel following Freddie and her girlfriend, Laura Dean, who is not the best girlfriend. Laura Dean keeps cheating on Freddie and then they break up, and then Laura Dean's like, let's get back together, and just keeps Freddie on a wild roller coaster of emotions and manipulation that is not deserved by anyone, but especially not by like a 17-year-old who's done nothing wrong. But yeah, it follows Freddie and her group of friends who are also all very queer, and specifically looks at how Freddie's relationship with Laura Dean affects her relationship with her best friend, and how her relationship with Laura Dean is causing strain and makes Freddie a bad friend to the people around her. Yeah, it's really good. It also has some I say older, they're like in college versus in high school, but a few older queer characters who sort of one of them takes Freddie under her wing, and it sort of shows her an option of life without this manipulation and how she can still have fun. Overall, I did very much enjoy this book. I loved it. I read it all in one night after, so I read The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jin Wang, which is another queer graphic novel, but I have less thoughts on it, so I'm not going to bother reviewing it. But I read that one, and then I immediately read Laura Dean. So I really loved it. I love the art style. The art style is absolutely gorgeous. It's all in like black and white and pink. And I love pink. I love pink so much. But it was all in soft black, white, pink, a very soft art style. It also felt very accurate to being 17. Like, obviously I was not in this situation as a 17-year-old, yet the emotions and the like desire to like please other people and like make sure people like you and like forgive a lot of bullshit felt very true to being 17. I know that was a big part of being a teenager, both for me and a lot of my friends. It was very sweet watching Freddie realize that Laura Dean was not that important to her, and also seeing that like Laura Dean's power over Freddie was not like absolute, because it does dissolve at a certain point when Freddie gets to see like, oh wait, this isn't the only option. But yeah, I really loved everything about this. My only complaint is I wish it was longer, because it's less than 300 pages, because it's a graphic novel, but also because it's a graphic novel, there isn't a lot packed into those pages. Like there is, but also there isn't, because the images take up room. But I do wish it was a bit longer, just so we could follow the story a bit longer. Or if there's a sequel, maybe she's gonna come out with a sequel, I don't know. I wish that we had longer time to spend with all of the side characters, specifically Freddie's friends, and getting to see them a bit more. No, I really loved it. I think it was great queer representation. It's definitely stuff I would have fallen all over when I was younger. Well, I say that. I would have fallen all over it, but also I was very much like forgiving of semi-toxic relationships as a teenager, but I think we all are, mostly just because of the things we're consuming, the things we're seeing our friends do, because obviously when you're in high school you don't have the context of like life or like, but yeah, I think it was really good. I definitely want to check out other things by this author. I'm not sure if she has anything else out. So I definitely plan on picking up a copy of this. It's absolutely gorgeous. I would love to have a copy just at home, so I can reread it and just keep referencing back to it. It was amazing. And yeah, so those are my thoughts on it. Let me get into, so I use for my rating system the CAWPILE, which is made by G from Book Roast. I believe she's the original creator. I'm 90%. Yes, because I remember that from the live stream. Yes. And it is an acronym that stands for categories that you rate and then average out. I have a spreadsheet that does it all for me, so I don't have to do math. But the CAWPILE stands for characters, atmosphere, writing, plot, ILE, intrigue, logic, enjoyment. And then it averages all this together and gives you a score, and then divides that by 2. So basically you do it out of 10 across, you do each of those letters out of 10, and then the spreadsheet averages those together and then divides that average by 2 to give you an out of 5 star rating. For characters, I gave Lordine a 10. 10 out of 10, loved all the characters. I thought they were very well rounded, especially given the little bit of time we got to spend with them. Atmosphere was also a 10. I definitely think that plays a lot down to the art style. I think the art style is very much what created the atmosphere. Writing, I put in an 8. Honestly, I never really give graphic novels a higher rating for writing than an 8, because as much as it was, I guess, well written, there isn't a lot of writing there, so I never rate them super high. Plot, I also gave an 8, not because it was bad, but because there wasn't much to the plot. It was a lot more character based and a lot more like character growth based. There wasn't a like blam blam, here's the plot, which is fine, and I don't mind that, which is why I didn't give it anything lower than an 8. But I definitely think there was not much of a plot there beyond Freddie realizing her relationship is shit and that she's become a bad friend. Logic, I gave a 10 because it felt like high school. It felt like those emotions. It felt like that part of your life. It felt very accurate to that, even though that was very different from my experience. It still felt very true to how life is and how growing up feels like, and how much it sucks emotionally when you realize people who you trusted are not trustworthy or good for you. And then enjoyment, I gave it a 10 because I did enjoy it. I did read it all in one sitting, even though it was way later than I ever like to stay up. I very much enjoyed it. I am going to reread it once I get a copy, because the way I read it was as an ebook, which is a shitty way to read a graphic novel, honestly. But yeah, so I enjoyed it, 10 out of 10, which gives a final score of 9.43, which divided by 2, sorry, I have it here, is 4.7. So it was a 5-star read for me on Goodreads and everywhere else, which is why I'm planning on buying a copy. I do have a system for myself that I have broken a lot lately, but in terms of books I have read, I am only allowed to buy the 5-star ones. This has not stopped me from buying books I haven't read, but the ones I've read, I'm only purchasing 5-star books. So yeah, I will be picking up a copy of this. I would highly recommend everyone read it. It's an amazing story. Yeah, let me know, have you read this? Is there any other queer, is there any other queer graphic novels you'd like to recommend to me? Have you read this? What's your thoughts on it? Did you love it as much as I did? Did you have issues with it? Yeah, I definitely want to hear everyone's thoughts on it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is my first ever review, and so I am a bit iffy on how well this is going to turn out. But thank you so much for watching. If you did, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, etc., etc. I am going to try to put out more individual book reviews in the future in addition to my recent reads. And this will be included in a recent read coming up, but on a bit of a shorter, like, hey, I loved it, go check out this. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe. I think that's everything. Oh, I made a bookstagram. I almost forgot I made a bookstagram. I made a bookstagram just to take photos of books and write physically about them there, because it is a bit of an easier thing to keep up with than YouTube, because YouTube takes a lot of time. I have to have time to film it. I have to have time to edit it. I have to find time when the house is quiet. Yeah, YouTube takes a bit more effort, so I don't, which is why I don't upload as regularly, which hopefully I get more on top of that. But Bookstagram, Instagram is something I am on top of. So please check out my Instagram. I only have like 3 photos uploaded as of right now. But I plan on doing a lot more. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.